Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on a Thursday evening. We've got double wrestling tonight. Very, very excited. I am here by medium demand at the very least. You could argue popular demand.
Medium, man, medium at minimum. But no, there was some high demand, I think. I don't know.
there,
People
there
wanted
was
us. People were
some demand.
requesting us, as you could say.
The kids were asking for Kate and Reg to do this
Hmm.
because I love the ROH brand. Reg loves the ROH brand.
Yeah.
Been waiting for a year for this to get rebooted, and we're so glad that you could join us. Please, 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 if you're here, leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps
Hmm.
boost us in the algorithm, and we're going to need it for a brand new show because we've got a brand new reboot of a promotion coming down the pike here. Very excited. And please send in your super chats and your humper chats. Best way that you can support us is that way. What the heck is a humper chat? I'll tell you what a humper chat is. You go to humperchats.com. You send messages about the humpers of match that we saw tonight. Helps us out a little. We get to keep a bigger share of the pie than super chats, but we appreciate it. And I don't normally do this, but because it's our first one, retweet, share, invite your friends. Be like, oh
Please.
my God,
Yeah.
by medium to high demand. Kate and
Tell everybody in the
pressure.
world, hey, there's an ROH show with Kate and Red. You guys should probably watch it. Like, yeah,
That's it.
pretty easy.
We got
It's
a
in the back.
frame.
That's it.
We got our lights.
We
We're
got a
happening.
frame. The show's happening. There's like a little red thing that's like, this live, you guys. So
It's live.
this is real. This
It's
is real as it
rocking and
can get.
rolling.
Yeah. So.
And ROH is live. So
Ring of Honor is so back, Kate. I'm so excited about this. The spirit of Ring of Honor lives on. That's the most important thing for me going into the show was I've been watching ROH since 2002, since the beginning. You want that feeling to be brought here. You don't want it to be too AEW-fied. Like out the gate, we don't want it, we don't want it to be too much AEW. We don't want it to be just them continuing stories that were going on over there. We want Ring of Honor. We want what brought Ring of Honor to the dance. Great matches, great pro wrestlers, great pro wrestling, everything involved with it, the sound, the sets, the commentators. And that's exactly what this was here. So I'm super excited that we got to see the show and about the future of Ring of Honor at this point.
yeah, I think this was a really encouraging sign. To your point, this felt like Ring of Honor. To me, it did not feel like a diet AEW.
No.
But I think this does a good job of marrying two things. One, keeping that old Ring of Honor feel alive, bringing in a lot of the talent that was there, has been there, but also alleviating that kind of overinflated talent balloon, we'll call it, for lack of a better term, where if people aren't being used in AEW because they're younger and still growing, they can go and kind of sharpen up here. But also, if you have people that are seasoned veterans that aren't really ripe for a specific storyline or a title picture, they can do a lot of really productive work with some young growing talent. So very excited about that. We're going to get to, it's so awesome to see the support already come in, and I appreciate you guys, but I'm going to get Reg's thoughts off the top here. What did you think of, I'm always putting over Ian and Caprice on commentary. They're my favorite duo in the game, but the rest of the production I thought was spot on here too. Loved the kind of set that it looks like we'll be moving forward with. Very clean, very sleek. What did you think of the production overall here?
I like the production. I thought my only complaint was that I thought it was a little too lit, but that's just me being old indie boy. I'm like, this is an indie show. Turn off all these damn lights. But other than that, I really like the set, the production. I like the crowd. I thought it was a feeling of a good time in Ring of Honor. These taping things could get very muddied, they could sometimes those AEW dark shows aren't the best with energy, but this energy was great here. The Universal Orlando fans really were there for Ring of Honor. They had Ring of Honor chants, they had everything kind of involved with it. I love the look of it. I thought it was very slick. I thought they used some different camera angles than they usually use, like in the AEW shows, which tried to add a little bit more to the Ring of Honor thing, which I thought was great. And Ian and Caprice are legit awesome, amazing. This show wouldn't be anything without those two. So important to be added to this Ring of Honor brand, honestly.
It's such an interesting challenge of marrying a diehard fan base, because if you are tuning into ROH and you have been watching, your ROH, and there's a lot of people that are probably tuning in for the first time because it's under the AEW umbrella. And I thought they did a fantastic job blending those two audiences. And I'm not the only one who thought this was great, and neither are you. We got Jennifer Kathleen saying new ROH was everything I'd hoped it'd be and more. Hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did.
Thank you,
really
Jennifer.
did.
Yeah, it looked like the feedback online was pretty positive. People were excited about everything going on here. There were some amazing matches. Like a lot of it kind of exceeded my expectations, honestly. Like I didn't think they would go so hard, but you know, Zack Sabre Jr.'s here. Like it's not going to be an easy day. So
yeah, and it was really nice because you had the stakeholder of Zack Sabre Jr. in the ground, and I think people have gotten familiar with Josh Woods, but if you weren't familiar with him, man, just really good stuff.
Woo-wee. That was
a
star-making performance for sure. We will get into that.
Ryan Lambert chiming in. Here's a few bucks to some of my favorite people at Fightful. Well, thank you. Looking forward to you to y'all talk about a promotion I've watched since the first year. I've had kind of an interesting trajectory with it because I wasn't watching from the beginning, but I was watching more modern kind of right before it shut down. And I would go back and watch from the first time I heard the CM Punk pipe bomb. That's why I got my sweatshirt on today, but he said, maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor. And I was like, well, what the hell is that? So I looked up a lot of stuff. I was so disappointed when it shut down, but very, very excited.
Yeah, he reintroduced a lot of CM Punk with that promo, so good for him. Good for us.
He did. Yeah, that, of course, was what I went back and watched, and I was like, what is this? These guys tearing down rafters with the Samoa Joe guy. What a blast that was. But I did want to ask you, because the tapings were a little longer, Chad722 saying, great first show, but less is more. 1 hour is perfect. This still flew by for me.
It did. Yeah. When they announced it, you know, because we've been preparing for the show and we were talking about like, how long is the show going to be? How long is this? We were all kind of confused. And then Ian said, he tweeted earlier that like, it's not a TV show. It's on the Honor Club. So it could be as long as it wants. And I thought this 2 hours flew by, like Kate mentioned earlier. And I think we're pretty close into Supercard of Honor. So they could be just like, they're going to it feels like they could jam pack us 2 hours worth of shows until we get there and then maybe switch to a 1 hour format after that. But they got a lot of ground to cover to sell some tickets in LA. So they're going to give it to us pretty heavy, I feel.
I agree. I feel like I prefer the 1 hour format, but I love the digestible content. But because this did feel like match, some backstage interviews, match, like it's such a clean delivery that it didn't feel like it got bogged down by anything, which I think is important on a first show.
Like if they would have had a long 15-minute promo in the middle of that, we'd have been like, all right, you guys, you got to wrap it up. But they didn't.
A name thief coming in here. Reggie Simmons saying,
come on.
ROH was dope AF. What a time to be a wrestling fan. Yes, don't outmark yourselves. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
I was just thinking like, oh, another wrestling show. It's insane. We don't have time. But like, no, my favorite wrestling show of Thursday has begun. Impact fans, I'm sorry. I'm going to be destroyed. I actually love Impact. It's 1A ROH and 1B Impact. It's crazy that they both started in 2002, same year. And here they are. There was multiple times throughout both of the existence of Impact and Ring of Honor that people were like, you're dead. This is it. You're never going to survive. How are you going to be here? 21 years later, brand new Ring of Honor, as awesome as ever. Like, wrestling is amazing.
Yeah, I try to keep my Thursdays clear because it's the only day I don't have a post show. And then I was like, well, it's my favorite wrestling promotion, I think. So
there you go.
There goes that. I'm buying for that show. People wanted me and you here.
Yeah.
Including Orion Ben, who says this one is for Reg Kate and ROH super fans for honor.
Thank you guys. Yes. So cool.
A donation from Josh Box here as well. Thank you for the dollars. And we'll call this up from ShotKid29 saying the ROH Fightful post show with Reg and Kate where honor is real. Honor is real. And we're going to dive in and we'll come back to some more of your chats in a little bit. But really, really strong stuff out the gate through the whole show. Man, you guys are being so supportive. Thank you. But I'm looking at the super chats and I'm overwhelmed.
So cool.
We didn't know.
I love it. You guys, thank you.
Yes, big time. But really fun start to the show. I feel like we start with Mark Briscoe defeating Slim J with Ari Davari and Mark Sterling, of course, at ringside. But I feel like starting with Mark Briscoe, of course, you're going to do that. What a really, really fun way to open the show. What a great way to capture the spirit of ROH right off the bat. But a lot to like here. Ultimately, Mark winning with a J driller. Great double underhook on this. Absolutely adored the ending sequence with him missing the froggy bow and turning around into a huge lariat. I thought this was a great way to kick it off. Slim J, as kind of gimmicky as he was, which he can go in the ring. I was pretty impressed here, Reg.
Definitely. This was the only way you could have started this Ring of Honor show, the new era, is Mark Briscoe being here. The very first Ring of Honor show, the first match of the Ring of Honor show, Jay Briscoe was in that match. That match would have been a tag team match, but Mark Briscoe was too young. He couldn't get in the ring. So he was there. So fitting that he's back here again against Slim J, a longtime ROH wrestler, also not for nothing, still as good as he was back then. Starting off with Mark Briscoe, you get everything you love about Mark Briscoe. He's shaking the camera. He's showing his teeth. He's hitting elbows out of nowhere. He's wild. He's yelling. He's screaming. He's chicken. It's amazing. It's everything you love about Ring of Honor. Like if you're watching Ring of Honor for the first time and then that's what you see, you're like, okay, this is something interesting. This is great. Briscoe's the greatest Ring of Honor tag team of all time. Had to start it this way. Loved everything about it. So cool. Great way to start the show. I was just on from that point because seeing Mark Briscoe after it hasn't been that long. Like I was thinking about that when he's came, like Jay Briscoe, that wasn't that long ago. And so for that to get to this is just, it's a great way. I love that Mark Briscoe is just continuing on, still going for it, continuing on the Briscoe's legacy for him and his brother. It's amazing.
Agreed. Really incredible. I really loved how emotional that is to return to Ring of Honor in that way, but it also just felt like a really fun match. Like, definitely an emotional thing, but then we're back right at Redneck Kung Fu. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what Mark, like, there's never been a moment where since the Jay Briscoe passing that you felt bad or sorry for Mark Briscoe because he won't let you. You're just like, oh, Mark Briscoe's here. It's a party. We're having fun. What a great guy, man. We want to see him forever lit up like that. So, yeah.
Exactly. And Brent Lockman saying, ROH starting with the Briscoe in the ring, all is right with the world again. Hail to both of you for doing this. Thank you. Of all the products we get to talk about, ROH has consistently been one of my favorites and probably my favorite overall. So very happy. It does not feel like a chore. I get to stream with Reg. This is super fun. Appreciate it. We got a couple of more chats. One from Albert Ponce saying, this was a great first episode, but without a roster split, there is no identity for me. The action is awesome, and I look forward to the new ROH. My guess is we'll see after Supercard of Honor what that looks like a little bit. I think up until then, there might be some ambiguity. And then once the first pay-per-view is through, once this pay-per-view cycle for AEW is through Revolution-wise as well, we might see this is your ROH roster, this is your AEW roster, and probably still some crossover. But what are your thoughts on that? Are you bothered by the ambiguity at all?
No, I think the thing is that they were establishing all these characters for the Ring of Honor show on AEW, so we won't see, like, there won't be much crossover because you seeing them before was to set this up. So I think that it was all just to kind of get more eyes on the product, help to get the fans like you that haven't seen Ring of Honor over from AEW and continue forward like that. Like, we're establishing characters. Eddie Kingston's over here. Claudio's probably going to be over here more often unless he loses to Eddie Kingston and goes back over here. There's a lot of things that are going to happen post pay-per-view, like Kate said. So we just got to kind of wait it out, let the things lay upon there and, tell the stories.
It's true. The Mad King did quit AEW. Need that Eddie Kingston 1099 shirt.
That was great. I bet you when they did the tapings, people were like, what is he talking about? They probably were so confused.
You're right. That's so funny that it was taped ahead of the angle that got filmed.
Because he just comes out and he's like, I'm a 1099 independent contractor. And people are cheering because it's Eddie Kingston, but it's probably like, what?
Eddie, I've got an accountant for you. 1099's different tax world. Yep. I did a lot of freelance work. I get it. A church pastor saying, congratulations, 2 of my faves. Let's go. Let's go.
A lot of Grapsody fans in here. You guys are great.
Thank you. Yeah. Love this episode. Has a different feel than AEW, says Grim Spider 93. Definitely. Yep. Definitely. Mike Strikes Back saying, I think I heard Kate screaming for Eddie from here. Definitely. We're going to get to that. But
on the way.
Yeah, look, I love Eddie Kingston, but I also love anybody that's going to hold a grudge for like 2 decades. That's just a blast.
Yeah,
That's just
I
a
don't think
blast.
it's ever going to be over, honestly. Claudio was even like, is this ever going to be over? Love it.
Speaking of awesome things, Tony Deppen on my screen is something that I really like. I
Ooh.
feel like he's a huge standout.
Shout out to my homie Mike from Indeed. I'm sure he had a very big pop when he saw Tony Deppen. Big Tony Deppen fan. Yeah, this was great way to establish another character that they've been kind of establishing over on AEW Dark and things of that nature. Someone that's been in Ring of Honor before. Tony Deppen is one of the best wrestlers legit in the world. As an opponent, like I would put him against anybody that's going, and he's going to have an amazing match. So it's great to see him here established in Ring of Honor. And the opponent that he's going to have is just like, starting with Samoa Joe, like, come on. And you know what Samoa Joe's going to do when he's in the ring with Tony Deppen. So everything you love. Samoa Joe's here too. That makes the Ring of Honor show. I liked what they set up for next week, being like, hey, next week Samoa Joe's going to be here. You don't want to miss that, because you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, next week's episode I think is going to be just fantastic based on what we've heard. We're going to get Dalton Castle next week, but this is just a great Tony Deppen interview. If you're not familiar with him, I'm assuming there's some people who this is their first time watching ROH. He's done a lot of really great work in ROH. He's been doing a lot of great work in GCW, and to be able to thrive in 2 very, very different environments is a testament to definitely a testament. But this interview does set up a match with Samoa Joe next week for that title. So Tony Deppen saying he's going to do the unthinkable and defeat Samoa Joe to cement his legacy in Ring of Honor, which I think is going to be a hell of a match, because he's going to be doing some bumping.
Samoa Joe is very angry, Tony Deppen. Good luck, my bro. It's not going to be an easy one.
It is. You got an uphill battle there, but
it'll be fun.
See. I'm looking forward to the match for sure.
Yes.
Some more love and support from you guys. You guys are the best. Ronald Hollick saying, so happy ROH is back, needed heavily. Favorite wrestling company that got me back into pro wrestling.
Yes.
After losing interest, ROH opened the fan back in me. It does feel, especially now, so distinct in the wrestling landscape, because if you're gonna play kind of like cross-brand what this is closest to of recent, it feels like Black and Gold NXT to me. I saw a couple other people saying that, and that's no longer here, right? So it has a really nice carved out alley.
Yeah, that Black and Gold NXT was still in all their juice and swag from ROH originally anyway. So it all makes sense. It's full circle. We're back to where we were originally. Yeah, no, it really did give up that energy. The matches felt like a takeover, honestly, in this little 2 hours. So I could see how people would think that.
Yeah, I always felt like Black and Gold was ROH with a budget. So I
hear what
you're saying. Exactly. Ryan Sullivan saying, I loved the energy, but they may need to travel a bit for tapings to keep good energy.
I agree. I'm interested to see what they move forward. If they're going to do this all year, it won't be the greatest thing for me, but I think they can make it work. And I think as wrestlers are going to be excited to try to get into that arena. So it'll work out in the end, I'm sure.
I think so too. ROH hasn't really of recent been much of a traveling promotion. They kind of set up their home base, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it travel selfishly, because I'm not going to be in Florida anytime soon, and I want to go to live shows. So.
And I think they'll probably do what Sean Ross Sapp was tweeting about earlier, maybe at Supercard of Honor, film matches in front of the big crowd. So anytime they have one of the big shows, they could attach tapings onto that and film a couple weeks worth of shows. Something like that.
Makes a lot of sense, and they do have that flexibility. That's one of the benefits of being on a streaming service.
Exactly.
Even though I'd rather see it than, I don't know, more so than Power Slap.
Exactly.
Ariel Landeros saying, let's go Reg and KSRS make these permanent. You guys keep showing up like this, and won't have a choice, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are so awesome. We got a huge super chat too from Nicholas Yubara saying, haven't seen the show yet, but stoked to check it out when I get home. Stoked to have ROH back, and stoked for you too. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys are super nice. Jeez Louise, what's going on over here? Why are you guys so nice tonight? Super nice Thursday.
a rare moment in wrestling where everyone's being super nice. But
I want somebody to be like, Reg, what about Bray Wyatt? Just randomly to just screw with me. I'm like, come on, man, throw me off.
I'm gonna throw that in later in the post show. I'm just gonna be like, Konosuke, Takeshita, and Bray Wyatt at an absolute classic. Oh, speaking of nice things, look, I am a straight lady, but Maria Kanellis, dear Lord, all right,
great.
That sparkle onesie situation, she looked great, but also just a really, really fun match here with the Kingdom and the Infantry. Couldn't help but notice that Sean Dean was at this taping. Couldn't help but notice that MJF wasn't. Sent his lawyer.
I mean,
seems like he's dodging the captain to me.
The facts are the facts, Kate. Honestly,
I'm just draw your own conclusions. I'm just telling you what I saw, but ultimately this ends with the Kingdom hitting the Proton Pack on the Infantry, score the pinfall. Really fun tag match.
Yeah.
I really liked this. Nice to see just some kind of, this felt like very much ROH tag team wrestling to me.
Yes. Everything, a lot of elements that I like, a lot of good people in this. The Captain Sean Dean, great guy. Carly Bravo, amazing wrestler. Great to see him on TV. The Kingdom, their entrance, love it forever. I'm glad that they still have it. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad the presentation is still there with them and Maria. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are two great pro wrestlers. They're going to be top 5 figures in the ROH tag division from here on out. They were a staple of that division before the buyout from Tony Khan. So it was great to see them here. And then at the end of that, it was just a great hard-hitting tag team match. The Kingdom brought everything you love about the Kingdom there. Carly and Sean were doing, I like their matching gear. They got the little salutes and elbows and all these little things going on to put their tag team together. They've been working super hard on the indies to develop this tag team and to establish themselves. So I was super happy to see them here. Great match, really fun all around. Spirit of ROH again, like you said, it's just back again. It's crazy.
I do feel like there wasn't a ton of like upsets or anything super unpredictable on this, but I feel like for a first episode, that's okay, right?
Yes.
Like you would expect this match to go this way, but in an establishing episode, I think that's perfectly fine. We've got some love coming in. I know nothing about ROH, but I am with Kate and Reg, and I want you to talk about what you love. Take my money. What a nice chat.
That's awesome.
Like, that's just kindness that I don't think we always get a ton of. But Ricardo El Comerciante de Pepsi saying gonna cancel my Impact.
Hold on. We didn't, Carlos. Don't attach us to that. Money. Do what you need.
Do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Yes. But Doc Mueller chiming in saying, "You're welcome for a seamless stream, Kate."
Thanks, Chris. We needed it.
If you have an issue with Bleacher Report, I've been saying BR_Doc is the IT specialist who will fix it for you. I might have expanded that into Peacock and to ROH tonight as well. But sincerely, Doc Mueller, thank you for the support. He's wonderful to us. And you can catch him on the Revolution pre-show as well on Fightful on Saturday.
Check that out.
My first wrestling show was actually ROH in 2005, and I'm happy to see it thriving today, says Steve-O MCC.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I get like, like it feels like I missed out a little bit knowing that I started watching in 2009 and like a lot of people, my entry point was WWE. So it just kind of stinks that like I feel like I lost out on so much, but I'm so glad to see it thriving now too. Did you go to ROH tapings at all back in the day?
No, the first ROH show I ever went to was in 2009 also. Like I watched from the beginning, but the first show I went to was attached to WrestleMania weekend. That's why I was telling Tony Khan we need WrestleMania weekend ROH, because like when I was in love with Ring of Honor and was never able to see it because they didn't come to the West Coast very often, I was like, here's my chance. Every WrestleMania weekend I would go to a show. And so the first one I went to was in Phoenix, and it was awesome. Ring of Honor was everything you would love about Ring of Honor, everything you would want to see. And so from then on, every time I would go to WrestleMania weekend, it was like the most important show of the weekend would be the Ring of Honor show. And it was like that until it's still like that. I mean, the show last year was awesome. One of the greatest matches of all time. So like, It's
Reg
continuing.
said, I made CM Punk cry. The least you can do is put this on my coast. You know what I mean?
Come on. Get a little something.
Kyle Sparks saying, just getting to watch, but ecstatic to have ROH back. Me too, pal. Have a great show, and I'm happy two great folks are giving ROH the proper fightful treatment. Well, we appreciate all the support. I'm truly blown away. I really am.
Y'all really showed up.
Yeah, seriously. RH saying that I was watching as a fan of ROH to begin with, and this show was hot shot of adrenaline.
Oh God.
I had to poke the bear just once.
I know.
Cheers to Kate and Reg for getting on the review show. Thank you so much.
Cheers to us. And cheers to y'all.
Cabbage Sensei saying, I'm relatively poor, so no guarantees of next week's contributions, but here's a tip. Very kind of you. Kate and Reg will be an all-timer fightful duo. Very excited for new ROH.
New ROH. I need me a new ROH shirt right now. Thank you very much.
That's pretty great. And
that's great.
I think you might know this fella, Phil Lindsay, I think it is. Saying, here to support one of my best friends in this space. And Kate, wow, I guess I'm not best friends with Phil. I just learned that.
And Kate, there you go. That's you and Kate.
I'm just this dangling participle out here. Thanks, Phil. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But ROH was legitimately the best wrestling show of the week. Great start.
That was a badass show, man. Shout out to Phil. That's my homie. Watch us on Saturdays on Grapsity. I don't know what we're doing this week. We haven't even talked about it, you guys. What the hell? We better talk about what we're doing.
Well, I'll tell you who knows what they're doing. And holy crap, that is Zack Sabre Jr. and Blake Christian.
Oh,
Grim Spider saying, I need Zack Sabre Jr. versus Danielson in my veins like now. Well, buddy, I think it is on its way, and I am excited. This was my match of the night. I don't know what to say about it. Otherwise, I'd be calling out every spot. Zack Sabre Jr. is probably the best transition specialist in the game for spots. He wins by submission here. Just a great match. Not that Blake Christian is a slouch by any means. So really impressive work here.
My note of this match was Blake Christian springboard into handspring. That was crazy. That was amazing. That blew my brain. That was spot foo like I'd never seen before. Tearing it down. Blake Christian had some great moments in this. He's shown when his comebacks are some of the best in wrestling, and when he gets into his mode, connecting all of his spots together, he's really hard to beat. But Zack Sabre Jr. is like, just, you have to, if you're close to him, he's going to grab your ass at some point. So get away from him. Like, he's going to grab a leg, an arm, like a finger, a toe. Like, you can't be like within inches of him, because he will grab you. And that's exactly what happened here. Blake Christian tried to do some flippy shit, and Zack Sabre Jr. was like, nah, I'm going to grab you. Like, let me have that arm. I'm going to take you down. I like the atmosphere that was there, because nobody knew what was happening. Nobody knew what was going to be on this tapings. And then seeing Zack Sabre Jr. come out to the show is like, that's great, man. That's the spirit of ROH. Again, I'm going to keep getting it over. Like, all the matches and because this is how ROH shows would be. Sometimes you get Zack Sabre Jr. Sometimes you get Kenta Kobashi. Sometimes you get Kenta. Sometimes you get, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. Anytime throughout the year, you could get some amazing wrestler from this other place just randomly there. And that's exactly what happened here. This match was everything you would love about Zack Sabre Jr. If you don't know Zack Sabre Jr., this is just like a piece. I like this 15-minute time limit on the championship. I was at the Battle in the Valley show, and he really uses all the time that he needs. Like, it's always almost down to the end, because he's going to give you what you want to see. And so this was awesome. I loved it. Blake Christian's great. I hope we see more of Zack Sabre Jr. in Ring of Honor.
Agreed. He does call out Bryan Danielson after the match, and to your point, this was also for the New Japan TV title match. So there was a 15-minute time limit on it, and I love pure rules matches. So when there wasn't one on this, I was kind of like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That was kind of a missed opportunity. They could have probably just been like, and also, but I don't know how with the championship in New Japan, how the lines are, whatever,
Yeah, I think I just always like it too when if you're showing up from somewhere else, you bring your title. It just is. I appreciate it because it just makes it feel automatically important, even if you don't know what that title means to another promotion. It's just like, you've told me this guy is a champion, and therefore I understand he's one of the best from the place that you're coming.
Exactly.
So very, very great. I loved the promo beforehand too by Zack Sabre Jr. He's just the most British dude in the world.
He's like, super British.
Even more British than Timothy Thatcher, who is not British, but is, but isn't. Yeah. We had Phil in the chat saying, no shade of Kate at all. Don't make this weird, guys. I didn't take any offense to it, but I will say you paid to support Reg and you didn't pay to clarify. So
the money's being made either way, dude. Thanks.
That's it. Ardu at chiming in via Humper chat saying, showing support for the new show, Kate and Reg is the fightful duo I didn't know I needed. Well, thank you. Kick ass, y'all.
Baby. Like we both need another podcast. We don't have 100 already.
Yeah, this was like my day off day, and I was like, not anymore.
Who needs a day off?
Promotion.
Yeah, come on, it's Ring of Honor.
Plus, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like we're getting away with something starting at 9 o'clock. Like, I don't, I'm not starting at 11 like I do Fridays or 10 the other days.
Yeah, no,
I'll
like
take it. Arduin also saying, sent a Humper chat just to oblige my man. Reg, how do you feel about Bray for the ROH championship?
I did this to myself. Now, that'd be kind of hot. Bray and Claudio finally bring that son of a gun over to a good match, so I'm into it.
Reg put the sheets on the bed. He made his bed, and now he's laying in it. That's what's up.
I've been very comfy in there, justified too, so it's all good.
Honestly, as time progresses, I feel like you're getting proven more and more right. But we're not here to talk about Bray Wyatt. We're here to take more love from people like Missing Out, who said, for the ROH post show, can't watch the stream live, so I'm voting with my dollars to make this an ongoing thing. Thank you so much. You guys
are cool. God, you guys are so cool. Thank you so much. For real.
Unreal. Happy Rachel Kate saying, wanted to send some love from the UK to you guys for the new show. You guys just I know what time it is there. You know what I mean? I'm new to ROH and excited to get more familiar with the help of two of my favorites. Well, thank you so much. It is so cool. Fun to be able to close the gap a little bit here for new fans and to cater to the diehards like us alike. And Tyrone Kidd saying, media man, breaking news. Now he's journalist, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have to go anonymous from here on out. That's just too much being out there. I don't know if I like being all the way out there like that. That's kind of crazy, but we'll see moving forward.
Yeah. Albert Pond saying, New Japan's hella on both ROH. And I'm loving the Renegade Twins. H and Impact this week got a lot of crossovers. TMDK, Willow versus Frost was great. Was great. And we are going to get there. But before we do, we are going to stop at the best moonsault ever with Christopher Daniels and Rohit Raju. I love Rohit. I thought he did a lot of really great work on Impact. Very excited to see him show up here. I think this promotion fits really well. I just appreciate his intensity. Like, he is so in every moment of a match. He's one of the most present wrestlers that can be. This was super fun. I mean, Christopher Daniels is still doing it at his age. God bless. I injure myself in my sleep now, so I don't know how he is out there still tearing it down, but Daniels wins with the best moonsault ever. Ultimately, this was the only booking one that I was like, oh, this could really go either way. Like, I thought Rohit might win here, but what did you think of this? I'm
a huge fan of Rohit. Like, I have been since Impact. His work in AEW. AEW is great. He's a really crisp. He understands pro wrestling like not a lot of people does. His spacing, his timing, the way that he connects his moves. A very great pro wrestler that if people don't know about him, I'm happy that he's here in Ring of Honor. They're going to know a lot more about him. The thing I really loved about this show is every single match had some kind of connecting piece to the original Ring of Honor, to some kind of part of Ring of Honor before this. So seeing Chris Daniels, who was also on the first Ring of Honor show, here in this match, hitting his spot, doing his thing in the first Ring of Honor show of the new era was awesome. And more of Rohit because he's great. He's really, really great. And it was on display here. It's more of stuff like that when he's getting into his thing. So he's going to be a contender for the Pure Championship, I'd say, here pretty soon.
He's great. And to your point, Christopher Daniels, first ROH show, huge piece of ROH history. And I think could just be such a helpful person just backstage and as a resource and helping younger talent come up. So great call.
If Chris Daniels there, everyone is benefiting for sure.
I church pastor saying, I think I missed my earlier super hat. I'm going to assume that was super chat, but I like the idea of super hats.
Super hat.
But here's more money. You did miss your earlier chat. We did read it, but we'll take more money from you.
Thank you. Yes.
We're going to the pay window on this show, baby. That's what we're doing. And MJ Johnson with the most important question tonight. So, Reg, I was thinking Bray versus Yuta in a pure water in a YMCA match. I don't know if the Mountain Dew brand has water under it, but
in a YMCA. Why gotta be at a YMCA? So you guys are the issue is you guys are putting Bray in here with all these great wrestlers. All these great wrestlers are gonna turn this guy around. I'm saying that's the issue.
I just love that nobody wants to do anything but like poke you. Like just nobody. They care more about you being annoyed at Bray Wyatt than they do at Bray Wyatt at this point, which is a testament to your commitment to the bit and also to WWE Creative for.
Kate said I'm more over than Bray Wyatt. I didn't say
it. We're gonna get you a creepy entrance and a whack theme that's just. Patchy Rick saying we should call this hosting duo Cage's Reg Elizabeth or Right Eliza Reg.
Right Elizabeth.
They're trying to like celebrity couple name us.
Reg, that's a lot. That's a lot. A tongue twister.
I'll be honest. I feel like I haven't earned the righteous name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts are being laid out here, you guys. I don't know.
It's true. I got in a pure rules match or something. I'll win it. But Jericho versus.
See, the line has been crossed. We went too far. We were having fun, and here you guys go saying Jericho out loud. Bad.
More love, and then we'll swing into the next match. You guys are unbelievable. CEO saying I'll have to rewatch later, but wanted to support Reg and Kate of Honor. See, I think that's where it is. If you're gonna do like a Reg and Kate matchup, none of this Reg and Kate +8 nonsense.
No, I mean, we're still shopping it. We can take a survey in the chat, maybe.
We might survive more than one episode. That was the goal for me today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And T. Sampson donating $10 of his hard-earned money, not even to say anything, just to be a nice, awesome human being. Ryan Sullivan doing the opposite, donating $10 to say Reg Bray Wyatt to ROH. People just trolling you. Ryan Lambert, though, trolling me right back, saying should Double J be an ROH discuss?
I mean, it's okay. See, some points are being made. Look, we could talk about it. He's
moving on.
One of the greatest Ring of Honor champions of all time, Jay Lethal. See, okay.
Aussie Open challenging the Foundation here. See, that's the benefit of being in the host seat. I'm just
we can just move forward. I got it. I like it.
Steamrolling here. We got a couple of nice back-to-backs here. I missed before Mark Sterling and Ari Davari informing Takeshita that Josh Wood isn't interested in facing him. He wants to pay him up. Takeshita, of course, tearing up the contract. But we skip ahead to Rhett Titus and Tracy Williams being interviewed backstage. Titus saying that he spent his entire career in ROH and that he wants to return to the mountaintop. Williams saying they worked their entire life to get ROH to be what the company kind of represents here. They're going to restore honor to it. And Aussie Open interrupting them and saying ROH there's no better tag team in that company now than them. And they challenge Titus and Williams to a tag team match. I feel like there's certainly an absence when Rhett Titus and Tracy Williams are out there. And I miss Jonathan Gresham. I miss seeing one of the best wrestlers in the world on TV. I thought it was really cool that a black man was in the conversation of best technical wrestler in the world. I can't even imagine how someone much more qualified to talk on this subject than I am, and you are. But I just wanted to give you a moment to talk about the absence of Jonathan Gresham here, and then we can kind of get into the promo a little bit more.
Yeah. Soon as Rhett Titus and Hot Sauce Tracy Williams were on the screen, immediately I was like, damn it. Why? Where is he? It was just immediately. It's like, damn. I interviewed Jonathan Gresham a few years ago for PWI, and the whole thing was how much he loves Ring of Honor, how much he loved bringing Ring of Honor back, because Ring of Honor had went through some shit, and then he came and he put his blood, sweat, tears, time, effort, everything he had in his human spirit to make Ring of Honor into what they used to be. And then to know that, and to know how it ended, and knowing that he would have stayed at Ring of Honor forever. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about nothing. It was about the legacy of that company, the legacy of that championship, the legacy of why he wanted to become a professional wrestler was being in Ring of Honor. So it was very, very upsetting seeing them there. They're great guys, and the match next week's going to be amazing. But like knowing that they were attached to him, it's pretty sad. I'm very upset about it because he loves Ring of Honor. Like everything about him was that company, and his part is still shown on this show today. So very sad about it. But onto the tag match. Aussie Open being in Ring of Honor is amazing, is awesome, is great, is the perfect thing because they're one of the best tag teams in the world. This division, I like how the promos between the matches are establishing or reestablishing characters into the ROH world, and these two tag teams are going to be a perfect addition along with the Kingdom, along with the ROH tag champs, along with other teams that might be introduced. So the tag division is shaping up. One of the most important elements of Ring of Honor throughout its history has been the tag division. So this is great.
Oh, yeah, and built right on the back of the Briscoes, of course.
Yep.
So I'm intrigued to see if they do some sort of tournament or battle royal in Jay's memory as this tag division kind of shapes up. But for a tag program right here that's not attached to the tag title picture, I think this is great. But definitely
like a Jay Briscoe Memorial Tournament or Cup or some kind of thing going forward to establish the new tag champs.
I think that'll be great, but agreed. I watched lots of interviews with Gresham, and including his with Sean, and he really did love the ROH brand. So it definitely felt like an absence. He put that company on his back in COVID and really steered the ship. So a bummer that he's not there, but to your point, will be an awesome, awesome tag match.
Yep.
So we've got more love coming in for us before we move on. AT saying, why the hell nobody told me Kate and Reg was doing an ROH faux show? Not a lack of me tweeting about it.
We was talking about it. We've been saying it out here. I said it on Ask Grapsity last week on like we've been talking about it.
Hell yeah. I've been looking forward to it as soon as we got the green light, but Ryan saying Righteous Red and Conscientious Kate. I like it. I like alliteration. So I'm here.
Put a K though. Conscience on the K.
Gotcha. Yeah, close. Yellow Boy saying, should save money for my medical expenses, but wanted to show love for the two of the dopest hosts at Fightful. If that doesn't get Sean to let us do at least one more episode.
Man, come on.
My goodness. We know what the healthcare situation in this country is, assuming you're in the US.
Yeah.
Save your money. We appreciate the support, but save your money, man.
Yeah, put it to them. Put it to the medical bills. We like it a lot. That's dedication, but like
it is.
We'll be all right, I think.
So we do get Takeshita versus Josh Woods, and holy hell. If Zack Sabre Jr. and Blake Christian hadn't shown out as hard as they did, this would have easily been my match of the night. It was like neck and neck, but Takeshita just continues to impress, as does, Josh Woods is incredible. Former ROH Pure Champion. He was a really, really strong anchor in kind of this newer age of ROH, but Takeshita ultimately hitting a wheelbarrow suplex into a bridge and winning here with the pinfall over Josh Woods. Fantastic match.
This was my match of the night. This was incredible. Josh Woods is a staple of the Ring of Honor Pure Division. He wanted to establish himself as one of the guys out the gate going forward that you're going to know about. He's been in a bunch of, I've seen a lot of his matches, but this was far and away the best match I've ever seen from Josh Woods. Takeshita's, I mean, how many words have we said about how amazing this guy is? He just really gets it when it comes to the ring aspects, everything. When it's just time to come back, when it's time to fire up, when it's time to be on defense. Josh Woods brought some knees that just destroyed Takeshita here at points. This was a dog fight. All of Takeshita's matches kind of feel like he could lose. Like he was going for a while where people were saying, that's funny that originally it was like, why does he lose so much? But now he's like on a winning streak and he's on his way up. But this match was awesome. Everything about it was just a fight. Pure. It was pure at some points. It was strong style at some points. There were strikes, there was knees, there was suplexes. This match was great. Match of the night for me. Star-making performance from Josh Woods. Like, if you don't know about him now, like he showed you.
Really, really strong stuff. And I love when wrestlers get over based just like basically on their ability, which is where Takeshita is right now. Yep. He's, I think, super charismatic backstage and ripping up the contract and stuff. He's definitely has a charismatic appeal to him, but there's something really special when a crowd gets won over just by someone's wrestling. And I feel like that's where Takeshita is. And that's kind of the most over you can get because you have so much control over only that aspect.
Exactly. Like, it's like all you need is time in the ring and you're going to do your thing. Like, that's great. And the thing I loved about this match and about a lot of Takeshita's matches, we know the history of him and the now Sami Zayn and all of his Sami Zayn spots. The haluva kick in this match was crazy. Like all of his Sami Zayn tribute spots are like,
I was like at home.
Yeah, right.
I felt that at home. Dear Lord.
Great
Super
stuff.
fun callbacks in this, as you said.
Great stuff.
Some love from Matt Rakeel saying, it's my boy Reg and my homegirl Kate. I need traveling tapings on the East Coast so I can attend the great show because I'm a 1099 contractor, partner.
Straight up. Yeah, straight up.
Love that. Love that. Well, we have a heel in the chat most nights that I do streams, a guy named Matthew Plus, who says, hey, Reginald, be sure to ask Katie about the time she takes a jellyfish sting to get me done. I'm not finishing that chat, Matthew Plus. All right, you're disgusting. I'm going to rework it to say, hey, Reginald, man, this is the greatest post show in the history of all time.
Oh, thanks.
I love this show.
Here's some great kind words.
Money. I would never say anything mean about anybody.
Nope. I love SpaghettiOs. What a great way to end it. I like SpaghettiOs too.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. An interesting choice, but I'll take it. I'll take it. We got a chat from Tromeric saying, been subscribing since I saw GCW at Hammerstein post show with Reg, I believe, but usually just a lurker. But this ROH show got me so stoked. Had to throw some love. Wish it was more, but working for tips means an empty bank account. Gosh, like
anything is anything, you guys. Like if you're sitting on 1 penny, that's awesome. Like
any support, and for people who can't afford to, leaving a thumbs up.
Even if you can't, just leaving a thumbs up. Just saying this is a cool show is enough. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate just the views and the love. And if you could leave a thumbs up on this video, that would mean a whole heck of a lot. Also going to take a brief moment as we keep the show rolling to remind you to subscribe to Fightful Select. Darn it. Lots of great stuff going out of there. I'm sure there's going to be more coming out of AEW Revolution. As tame as AEW pay-per-views have been, I think we're going to have some fun with this one. I will be on Fightful Select doing the post show with Alex Pulowski. We'll be doing a separate post show from the main feed. We've got Ask Rhapsody behind the paywall as well. As well as a ton of breaking news. So please go over and subscribe to Fightful Select. We appreciate it. And we appreciate chats like this from the Amish Electrician. Still one of my favorite handles that we have hanging around here saying, take my human monies. Cheers to a great new show. Well, that was very nice and not at all evil.
Nope. Very cool.
So we move on to the Embassy defeating Joe Keys, LSG, Leon St. Giovanni, and Rex Lawless. This was mostly LSG getting smushed, but it was really, really fun. LSG is a standout by me. He's also a friend of mine. I adore the guy. Does a lot of really great work at Wrestle Pro if you're in the Northeast area. Great wrestler, very clean in ring. Blake Christian's springboard is one of the few that I feel like competes with his. He has a really clean springboard, but also just nice to see these ROH names of the more modern era coming back. This was really great, and we also got to see Prince Nana, of course, which is almost like the most important part here. But Embassy looking strong as you would expect here, but a fun little match. I don't know if his tag partners even got tagged in at any point.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, great callback for him because he's a longtime ROH standout. One thing one criticism is they didn't really establish what's happening next with the trio titles. Like I'd like a little bit because it feels like most of the things were like, here's what's happening next, and that was the only one that was kind of just there. But I like the match. I like what happened. I like Brian Cage. I like Khan. I like those guys over there. So it was good. They need something like this in between all the the Takeshitas and the Zack Sabre Jr. stuff going on.
Yes, that is one thing I will say. That's normally how I feel about kind of pure matches, is sometimes those are almost more fun at home than live. And I love pure matches, but when you have Ian Riccaboni and Caprice telling the story, it's sometimes more enjoyable in like the flow of a live stream. This is perfectly fine. This has definitely been my favorite version of Brian Cage, has been what we've gotten to see. So appreciate that, but we will move along to Ari Davari with, of course, Mark Sterling and Slim J on the outside defeating Grand Metalik. And holy cow, Grand Metalik, another one. If you didn't know, now you know kind of guy. Metalik had the match won, darn it, but the referee was distracted by smart Mark Sterling allowing Ari Davari to capitalize. Hit that hammerlock short arm lariat for the pinfall. This was a really strong match. Grand Metalik can do some insane stuff in that ring.
Grand Metalik is the king of the ropes. We saw what happened last night on AEW TV in that ladder match. So I'm saying it right now. We need it. Metalik versus Commander and the king of the ropes off. I need to see everybody running them, flipping them, all that. That's the match I need coming out of this. Metalik is awesome. He ran up the ropes and did a tope to the outside, landed on his back. It was crazy. He did the way that he walks the ropes and turning into the hurricanranas and all that. Bar none, one of the coolest things in the world. Another great luchador. You guys know me. I'm always talking about some luchadors. Another one of those luchadors that you need to see. So yeah, they have to book the Commander match. That's all I care about coming out of this, because I want to see two guys that be using the ropes like it's the sidewalk.
It is crazy. And my apologies. Just Metalik, not Grand Metalik, right?
Yeah, it's just Metalik.
My bad on that. My bad. But I also did want to call this up. Nora Sparks asking, is Fightful not doing Impact Review? Impact Review will probably overlap with us for a couple minutes, but Joel Pearl and Crested the Star, who I adore so much, and Joel will be there. That will be going on. We're going to try and keep this train on the track so that we don't have too much of an overlap with them, but we've gotten more support than I could have ever anticipated from you guys. So thank you for making that a problem for us.
Yeah, great problem to have.
Yeah, but both streams can go on at the same time, and we know y'all got multiple screens. Come on, you got a laptop, you got a cell phone, you got an iPad. Like, tune in to all of them, or you hate Fightful. No,
exactly. Just connect them.
We got Madison, Rayne, and Skye Blue defeating the Renegade Twins, and what I thought was a fun showing. The Renegade Twins, of course, having a very brief and weird NWA tag team reign, kind of, but ultimately Skye Blue hitting the Skyfall to pick up the victory here. This was a perfectly serviceable match. I didn't think there was anything overwhelmingly outstanding, but I think something that's really great is Skye Blue is going to have a place to grow and work. Yes. And she's been doing great work in AEW, but somewhere to kind of cement, somewhere to stay and anchor and thrive, I think is going to be really great.
Yes, and really great to attach her with Madison Rayne, because Madison Rayne's a vet and she's going to be able to show she's been through every situation you could go through as a wrestler. So she's going to be right along there when Skye Blue runs into a problem. here you go. Madison's going to have the solution for you. Great spot. The Renegade Twins are on some crazy tour of professional wrestling where they show up in every wrestling company, and it's awesome. They were the NWA tag champs for a while. They're on Impact Wrestling. They've been in WWE. Like, they've been on AEW TV. They are having a really fun run right now, and I think they are really fun wrestlers. This match was a great service to them. Nothing too offensive here. Just like, here's Skye Blue. She's going to be a mainstay in the women's division here. I think she's going to do a lot more singles work going forward. She had a match at the AEW show I went to yesterday, and I think they're just trying to put an emphasis on her because she's a really good talent.
Yeah, she grows more and more. I've noticed less hesitation in her wrestling.
Yeah.
It's been great to see the pieces starting to come together, especially because they don't have an NXT. This is could kind of be their training ground. So awesome to see, and awesome to see chats like this from Von F2 saying best bangs and braids in the biz.
Bangs and braids is really funny.
That's our tag name, damn it. Yeah. I like it.
Yes.
And Chad 722 saying Renegades for the first AEW or ROH women tags champs.
Definitely going to be in the mix.
I need somebody to book women's tag titles right before. Yeah. Just somebody, just one American wrestling television promotion.
It's not looking too good out there.
To book
Impact,
up and down.
Yeah,
up and down.
Yeah,
probably the strongest at the moment.
But compared to what?
Exactly. Matthew Plus saying, Reg, don't waste your time. Katie's not a single mom.
Y'all just putting all my business out in the street today. Jeez Louise. It's
not a Bray Wyatt joke. Ooh, we know that much.
Yes.
And also, Matthew Plus clearly doesn't know about my chat. No, I'm just kidding. Tom Valley saying, bad news about avoiding an overlap tonight. You both rule, and I'm looking forward to the show being my new Thursday routine. I hope so. I hope it's ours too. Whoops.
Yeah, see, if the show only becomes 1 hour, though, then we won't have to worry about this problem.
Right, or even an hour and a half. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Peeps are asking if Reg can do impressions. This is so funny. No, Sour Grap's world is its own world. Yeah, we won't be singing and doing impressions tonight, but if we're really lucky and you send in really expensive super chats, he'll have to do a Bray Wyatt impression. So.
Yeah, I won't. I mean, if I'm forced, then, I'm gonna turn my lights down. I have a red light bulb over there. I'll just turn that on. Easy, right there. We're fiending.
Just get a Mountain Dew in your side.
That's it. Mountain Dew, pitch black. I'm out.
I love it. RP saying, want to give a shout out to Riccaboni and Coleman. They are a fun announce team. They are my favorite. They are my favorite announce team. Caprice just adds so much energy and context, and Ian Riccaboni, as far as the play-by-play goes, my favorite.
The way that Ian locked in the main event to be like this, to add the importance to the match is much needed in the wrestling world.
Agreed. Their call of the double dog collar match is one of my favorite commentary calls of all time. That was just an unbelievably well done job. But we also get a nice little promo from Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
This I thought was great. This Wheeler Yuta seems like he feels more comfortable in this setting. I like his AEW promos just fine, but he takes offense to being called a junior member of the Blackpool Combat Club.
He'd be reading out online responses from this promo, it sounds like. It's like, I've been hearing what y'all been saying about me.
Yeah, I'm tuned in. All right. Yep. But he says he's free next week if somebody wants a shot at his title, which of course is a pure title, which is one of my favorite things about ROH. He says they should make themselves known right now, which brings out the non-British man, Timothy Thatcher, saying
same
that
theme as another. Like, it's crazy hearing that theme. It's like, wait,
yeah,
what? What's happening here? I'm confused. Yes. Yeah, I was very confused for a minute. But yeah, Tim Thatcher, we all know my love for Tim Thatcher. He's awesome. He rips limbs apart. He punches you in the mouth. he's not British. He's from Sacramento. He's great.
It's not even that he's not British. It's that he's from Sacramento. Like, it's
That's
both
what
of those
they like.
things. Like
If
what?
you get past the British thing and you're like, okay, I could understand.
Okay, he's
That's fine.
probably
And
like
then they're
from
like,
Boston,
actually, he's from
maybe.
Sacramento, dude. And you're like,
No,
wait.
he's not.
As someone
Like,
who's from California too, I'm like, no, he's not, dude. He's
you're
not
like,
from
nah.
Sacramento. You're lying. But no, he's totally from Sacramento.
We move along to second women's match here. Willow Nightingale and Lady Frost. Really liked this. Grim Spider saying, love the fact that there were two women's matches and they both slapped hard.
Ooh,
Willow and Lady Frost killed it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And Phil saying on the women's tag discourse, watch Stardom. It's the best place to find good women's tag team wrestling.
Right, you're right.
I gotta get deeper into the well sometime. If we're doing a
Mm-hmm.
post show today, I don't know when I'm gonna find the time, but I should make the time. I should.
Right.
I should. But this match was a whole bunch of fun. I think Willow was probably originally being eyed for the ROH women's division. She had been such a big focal point before it shut down. But this match was great. Willow wins it with the sitting power bomb on Lady Frost for the victory here. We'll talk about the post match in a second, but between the ropes, great to see Lady Frost out there.
Yes.
Now that she kind of freed herself from the shackles of Impact. Nice to see her get a nice showcase here, and I thought Willow was a perfect opponent for her, Reg.
Yeah, interested to see if they use Lady Frost going forward. I know she's had a ton of offers from a bunch of places because she's a tremendous talent. It was on display here. She was doing that Lady Frost shit in the air with some great flips. We love it. We love that shit. She's very cool. Willow starting the match trying to get Lady Frost to dance and not be so serious was amazing. Lady Frost is like, what are you doing? Can we fight? And Willow's like, we have to dance first. Willow's the most charismatic person in all of wrestling right now. You can't not like her when she does her little baby splash with this thing underneath. It's like, she's just the best. She's amazing. And then the finish, the way that she just like is at one moment dancing, smiling, being so happy, but then at the end she's gonna powerbomb all the sonic rings out of your body. It's like, it's how could she? How could you not love this person?
Out, right?
You know, I'm just trying to connect these dots together. It's like, how could you not love this person who is on tap to becoming the next Ring of Honor Women's World Champion? Is like, it's great. It's great to see Willow. She's the best. And yeah, then the post match, Ian came in, did a couple dance moves too. Like, if you're in a ring with Willow, you're probably going to be dancing. Eventually, it's going to happen. Your body can't help it. So his body couldn't help it. Willow called out the ROH Women's World Champion Athena, and Athena came out. And you know what? I love Athena. She's a tremendous talent, one of the best women wrestlers in the world. But if like just get her a writer, maybe like a joke book, maybe like some assistants, because porcelain Athena, what is that? Kate, what is that?
It's
what does that mean?
Not her best work. Porcelain being, I think that she's gonna break her apart and she's gonna shatter into a million pieces like a porcelain doll.
Because she was gonna shit on her. I was like, that I don't want to see that.
I don't think it's meant to be like a toilet, though.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't want to see that. That's not a good joke. That's gross.
I think it was more to the effect of she's like smiley, like a doll, kind of, and she's gonna smash her into a million pieces. Still probably not the best. If where your head went was the toilet.
Right, exactly.
But she does say that she's made of porcelain and she should feel lucky to be a part of her division, which that I really liked. I liked her taking pride in ownership in the ROH women's division. That was a nice staple in there. And yes, Willow continuing to just be one of the most magnetic people in the world.
And I thought this was going to be the pay-per-view match, but they're like, nah, this is next week. It's happening between Willow and Athena. So
yeah, I wonder if we get a couple goes at this. I wouldn't mind it. I think that could be a really, really fun feud. But I also appreciated Willow saying, like, not Smiley Willow, business Willow before
Yes.
she gave her promo was so
Yes.
much fun.
She's the best.
Louis Vale saying Willow and Lady Frost with a hell of a match.
Oh, I see what you did
Worried
there.
they were going to get an icy reception, but they
Oh, all
really
in.
snowed out.
Whoa, all the way.
Nice to see Willow as a winter. I just also love this because he
Mhm.
misspelled Frost. So like all of his winter
Lady
follow-up
Force.
is super, super fun.
Dedication.
But that does bring us to, I'm not going to Mark Henry it, but it does bring us to our main event. Some really, really fun stuff that happened to
Ooh,
this match. But
I
before we
love
dive
it.
in, I do want to
Mhm.
thank you guys so much for the support. I'm in
Yes.
awe. And please do tune into the Impact post show if you are trying to get caught up on that product, if you have intrigue in that product, if watching ROH made you say like, hey, I don't need to watch stuff that's just on mainstream television to get my wrestling, check
Mhm.
out Joel and Cresta the Star. Sincerely, as much as I love to pick on Joel, they're a very, very fun duo that shows a breeze to watch, and we do appreciate the support. Also, leaving a thumbs up on this video. You guys have been supporting with the chats all night. You're incredible. So subscribe to Fightful Select before this weekend, too. You're going to want some of that exclusive news coming out of there. But,
Yep.
oh, man, I loved this match, and I liked the post-match even better.
Yes. Perfect everything. Everybody knows this was Righteous Reg all around. Everything about this whole match is Claudio and AR Fox in the main event of the first new era ROH show for the Ring of Honor World Champion. At one point of both these guys chant broke out. I'm like, look, come on, you guys, like, just look at this. Look at what's going on here. History is being made, and I'm a part of it because everybody knows that both these guys chant exist because of me here, me. No, this match was awesome. AR Fox, the things that he does, the way that he transitions into moves, the way that he connects one spot to the next spot to the next spot. Awesome, incredible talent. We've seen what he's done. He almost died yesterday multiple times. I hope he's okay. Very crazy work.
That ladder match.
Jeez, that was crazy. And then Claudio, as we know, people talk about this guy like he's great, and I still think that people don't really understand the greatness that this guy can do, the way that he could carry any person, any match, anything at any time, the way that he does his uppercuts at any moment, the way that he will lift a damn truck if he has to, the way that he'll spin your ass. Claudio Castagnoli being the Ring of Honor World Champion right now is a great thing. This match was a perfect way to cap off a great show, and then for it to end with King coming out, showing out with the smirk on his face because Claudio's like, what is this guy doing here? I thought this guy quit. I thought he was out of here. I thought we were done here. I don't want to deal with him anymore. And then King's like, no, we about to fight, bro. I want that.
Loved so much about this. To your point,
amazing.
A lot of people who are kind of watching more of the mainstream stuff didn't know who AR Fox was until he showed up in AAW, and man, has he had a star-making run. The trios work has been super fun, but really fun to get to see a solo match here. And this was another one where we knew what the outcome was, but I didn't care. This ruled.
No way.
Claudio, incredible too. He does one with a flash uppercut, like you were saying. Those uppercuts can kind of hit out of nowhere, and yeah, it's just incredible. He's such a specimen. Like he can swing somebody on top of a steel cage, or he can hit you with an uppercut to end a match. Like that's unreal to me. Very, very fun main event, and then of course post match with Eddie Kingston coming out. My God, absolutely adored him interrupting here. He's an independent contractor. He can be there all he wants.
Eddie Kingston as Ring of Honor World Champion is something I didn't know that I wanted, but I wanted a lot. Like I wanted a lot. So wherever this is going is perfect. Yeah.
You know, if he said he's quitting AEW, I think he might have a long stint in there, whether that's with a title or they're just gonna play this out for a really long time in a good way. I think that could be fun, but said he promised Jon Moxley he wouldn't beat Claudio's ass in All Elite Wrestling, but this is Ring of Honor challenging him for a title match. Claudio walks off with no response. The crowd behind Eddie here, which was super, super fun. We've got a ton of chats about this. You guys are awesome. Gonna read one before we dive in fully from One Crayon Short, who donated on Twitch. We have twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. Always forget to plug it in the beginning. But what a fantastic return to form for ROH. Stoked for next week already. I am also stoked for next week already. They set up just about everything else.
Yep.
To your point, they didn't really fully set up the trios, but I'm wondering, we did find out that Dalton Castle is going to be during next week. I'm wondering if that's where that's going to go. But Wesley Wiggins saying, loved the show tonight. Claudio versus AR Fox was the match of the night. And following that, his favorite was Fightful Hosts is the best, if I could read. Match of the night, and following it with us essentially is the best. Thank you. Thank you. Dude, that's just a fun handle. Saying Homicide yelling Eddie Kingston video.
Yes. I hope we see Homicide. He's tied up with NWA. I don't know.
He is, but is anybody? Can they just walk in there? Especially that dude. That dude will be like, let me out of my contract.
I'm gone. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. What are you going to do?
Release signed. God love you.
Yes.
I am excited to see how far back they dig into. I mean, we're talking Chikara history. So that's just, what a blast.
This is deep. This is going to be good.
Wrestle Boy saying, my brother and the national treasure. Thank you. I was a little scared about how they would present it, as I didn't want it to see NXT 2.0 feeling.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair expression. Yeah.
Feels like old NXT ROH to me. Does Eddie take it here? He fits in so well, in my opinion. I think he could.
I think he does. I think he does. Yeah.
Robert Lyle saying, pretty sure I heard Kate squealing all the way in Atlanta during the last 2 minutes of the show. Kingston Claudio here for that, partner. Me too.
Definitely.
Me too. I'm an Eddie mark for so many reasons, but when I think about what a promo was supposed to do, and that being like promote a match, what he did with Jay White at that press conference, what he did with Punk, like, he just makes me salivate for matches, and this one has a 2-decade head start.
The story that they're going to tell is going to be crazy. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
So excited. Leonard Aarons III saying Eddie Kingston hate needs to be a new thing. He quit a company just to have it out with someone he can't stand.
He knew he couldn't fight him in AEW. He's like, I have to quit this to go over here to fight him.
I just love it too, because
how petty he is.
He was like, the only person I like is Mox, and I promised Mox that I wouldn't do it there, so I'm doing it here. It's just phenomenal. CBD's nuts, Redeem D's nuts. We're talking about Eddie saying late to the party, but wanted to send love to y'all. Appreciate it. Shame Monster, what an appropriate handle for the chat that we just got. But Reg doesn't have to talk about Bray or the guns. LFG, get that 1099 ready for filing, Mad King. New Japan Strong on hiatus, and this is their new home. Interesting. I didn't really think about that, but
I have a lot of crossover at this point. Yeah,
that could be really fun. I hope New Japan hops onto the new ROH Honor Club interface, because it's really clean looking, and for $10 a month, I think adding more value would be a very good thing. I will say they did have the Briscoes versus FTR match readily available playing before this, which I just think it's cool that they did that. Anime Otaku 2 saying Eddie's shirt should actually be sold for £10.99.
$10.99.
And Ronald Hollick closing us out saying, do you feel that the ROH Championship will be in defense at Forbidden Door this year? Or will it just be AEW Championships? Oh boy, that's a good question.
That's a great question.
I'll let you go first so I can think about it.
I guess it depends on who's the champion at the time. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. It should be. I think it'd be fun. Just have all the championships defended.
Yeah, I think it's fun to make that more worlds collide, like bigger, I guess, than two promotions. Like having a bunch in there could just be really fun, because Forbidden Door is supposed to be about opening the door to other promotions, not one specific one, right? So
exactly.
I would be in on it. But guys, that brings us to the end of the show. We're going to get out of here so that the Impact crew can do their thing. You guys were unbelievably supportive.
So cool. Amazing. I can't believe so many people just showed up and showed out for us. You guys are awesome.
I know. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. And you guys are showing Albert Ponce. We'll end on this note because this is just yo Reg, Bray Howdy versus the Guns or Jarrett Lethal thoughts.
No, please no.
You know what? As someone who's a Jarrett hater, and I am, mostly for the bit, I gotta honestly, it's not the work he's doing that's bad. So for that reason, I would probably go that route.
Yeah, you're right. Agreed.
And Jesse Ozak closing us out. Thank you guys so much. Saying I haven't watched it yet, but looking forward to y'all. You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. This was a really fantastic show.
Super fun show. Next week they set up some great stuff too. They're going to continue this train all the way up, I think, to Super Card of Honor.
Absolutely. But Reg, we're busy before next week. You've got other shows to do. I've got other shows to do. Where can the good people find you?
Well, tomorrow we have a very cool interview dropping with the Grab City Boys with Keith Lee ahead of AEW Revolution. And then Saturday morning before Grab City is going to be our interview with Ruby Soho that we had. Both those interviews dropping before Revolution this weekend. We have regular Grab City happening sometime on Saturday, I think, and all that. Every single Saturday here on the Fightful Network. Righteous Reg, William Washington, Philip Lindsay. Please check that out. Indeed is also on Fightful Overbooked. You should check that out. And I'm going to be at some AEW events this weekend having a great time. I'm very excited to see a 1 hour Iron Man match with the greatest professional wrestler of our generation, Bryan Danielson.
Very, very cool. Have fun. There's nothing better than live wrestling. The plugs part of the show makes me wish I had Excalibur's lung capacity, so I'm going to try and do this as quick as I can. But Mondays during the Fightful Select Sour Grabs post show of Raw. Tuesdays on the main doing NXT Sour Grabs Variety Hour, whatever the hell we do there. Wednesdays at the Mark Order podcast talking all things All Elite. Thursdays continued question mark here. Fridays doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show on Fightful Main. And this Saturday, after LSG got his butt kicked today, he's going to be fighting Bobby Fish at a show that I'm doing commentary on in the main event. So I will be at Excite Wrestling doing commentary, twitch.tv/Excite Wrestling. No E, just an X. This is pro wrestling. We don't do vowels. So those are all the places you can catch me. At Miss Kate Fabe on Twitter. This was so much fun. Reg, thank you so much for diving in with us. Hopefully we get to do this. Tweet at Sean. Tell him we need to be back next week. Demand it. But most importantly, have a safe and wonderful rest of your weekend and enjoy pro wrestling. We got a lot of good stuff coming up this weekend. So have a wonderful week. We're out of here.